What's up, everybody? Nilay Patel here from SilverSilk and More, starting a minute early for my presentation, but it is so good to be here, so good to finally celebrate the first year of TGBE, which is just unbelievable. It has been a crazy year, but we have kept up the energy, the excitement, and the creativity through all this time with you guys out there. There are 15 of us presenters, 14 or 15 of us presenters for this TGBE group. We're all individual businesses that range from a one-man company, such as myself, all the way to some bigger companies, but we're still all independently owned, pooled our just creativity together into this fantastic virtual event that happens, what, now 4 times a year? And then a few events in between, which is spectacular. I can't wait to get to that day when we get to say, hey, we're going to turn 16, one day far into the future. But, I feel like the direction that we're going to go, it's going to be that, I hope. So I'm just going to get situated here on my computer. This is going to be one of those where we actually get to chat in this tutorial. Because normally, if you are watching my Tuesday tutorials, either on Facebook or YouTube, I don't really get to talk to my audience until Roundup, hence the cowboy hat gimmick. And I think there just was a general consensus that people wanted to see me in a cowboy hat, and I just went with it. So I'm going to say hi to some people. Teresa and Gretchen are here, my lovely brand ambassadors. We got Rosalinda, we got some many friends actually tuning in from everywhere. Terry is here too. Rita, lovely to see you. Laura, Miss Carrie is here from Hawaii. So lovely to see you guys. Okay, so we have a lot to cover. But again, I just wanted to kind of keep this casual, and I don't know, it's supposed to be fun, right? Fun beading. Did you guys get your TGBE kits for this event? I packed 40 or 50-ish, I think, and it was an all-inclusive kit, so you didn't have to really search for wire or any parts and pieces, and so having that sold out within 4 days was just nuts. And then I did some remnant kits, actually, and those sold out within a day, and then I was basically left for nothing for like I don't know, a couple weeks until TGB event actually started. So a few of you who were very lucky did grab the TGBE kit for SilverSilk, and if you didn't, then that's okay, because I'm going to show you all the parts and pieces, and hopefully you can make this same design using what materials you might have in your own stash. Glad you guys are loving the cowboy hat. We got some Hawaii peeps in the house as well. Dorina is here. I love that. I love that we're from all over the world, really. We've got so many friends here that get to just pull in this time together. It's really unusual and cool, and now we live in this technologically driven world where we do get to connect more. I would say that many of the companies that I work with now, I never even knew about or didn't have an opportunity to work with them until this event happened. So it's just so crazy. Real quick intro for myself. I actually do have a list of things that I'm supposed to cover because I tend to forget stuff. I am Nilay Patel. I am the owner, designer, and educator of SilverSilk and More, my company. And I do everything. I do everything from product procurement to buying all the different things for my store, manufacturing, all the way to packaging and then shipping it out to you guys. So there's nothing in the company that doesn't happen under my radar. Sometimes I have my parents help me pack stuff, and sometimes I don't. I just do it myself. So I am a one-man show. I also work a day job. So I actually have 2 full-time jobs. My other job is involving graphic design for a psychological test publisher company, which is quite a unique trade on its own. So I'm very highly creative, immersed in creativity all the time. And some days it's great to be in both worlds and to do these different creative things, and some days my creativity just runs really dry. When that happens, I get to be with groups like this where my creativity is turned on full force, and you know, just new ideas and innovation pops up out of nowhere. So that's a little intro about me. Um, I also do tutorials every Tuesday, as I had mentioned. My next one coming up involves me being inspired, speaking of, from my friend Kelly Sutton, who's actually after my presentation. And we are, let me zoom in on this and make this window bigger. We're going to be making this design, which she was very gracious to allow me to teach my method, which is her design. She used leather in her tutorial over on her YouTube channel. And I used SilverSilk, which is a completely unique look. It's the same technique and just is a whole different type of style and texture, I think, than, you know, than anything I've tried before. It would just, with very few materials especially. So again, I'll be teaching this. It is a pre-recorded video that will air on YouTube and Facebook at the same time coming up next Tuesday. And then I do what's called a roundup there in the evening time slot at 5:30 in the evening. I just hop on Facebook Live and I just chit chat with my friends. Cowboy style, right? Gotta have the hat sometimes, and sometimes I don't. Depends on what kind of day I've had, that I'll wear the hat. Today I'm having a good day. So you guys can check me out there as well. And if you are wanting to make this design and are wanting to buy these supplies, my website is right up there, silversilkonline.com. And today I am running a special, well, this weekend in honor of TGBE. I just did TGBE 25 for 25% off capture chain. And this sale will go through Sunday and will end at midnight. So you can stock up on some capture chain, do some shopping over at silversilkonline.com. And while you're there, my Remnant bags and bead bags are back by popular demand. So these guys are scraps of SilverSilk that might have been short remnant bits or have some sort of defect. But I kind of just pulled it into this little bag, and it's heavily, heavily discounted, especially for the amount you get. I don't even know how much I put in here. And it's, you know, for me, it's too late. I'm not going to go back and edit. It is what it is. Like, look how much chain you get. And this is like made as a remnant piece. And you get different kinds to work with. So yeah, you guys should, if you're wanting to try out SilverSilk, then I would highly recommend the Remnant grab bags and trying some stuff out there. If you love any of the samples that are included in the bag, and each bag is different. There's no telling what I'm going to put in it. I've got some silver in this one. I lost my train of thought. That's what happened. I looked at the SilverSilk and I lost my train of thought. Yeah, good. There's a good bit of different samples in here, and I highly recommend, if you're a newbie to SilverSilk, to check it out. You may also decide that you want some beads to go with your SilverSilk, and I have these little remnant bead bags as well from various kits and just things that I've ever picked up and had for years and years and years, and it's never seen the light of day, and I've repackaged it and heavily discounted that as well. So both things are available on silversilkonline.com, as remnant bags are going to be in the other products section. While you are still shopping, believe it or not, I have almost run out of these New Year's Eve workshop kits. 10 left. Boggles my mind. I mean, those are going to be 10 very lucky people. Here's what's inside, though. It's not a mystery kit. This is a workshop that I am teaching, and it's going to be very project-driven, very project-focused. We're going to be doing 5 different designs, which I'll show you here in a second. And we're going to do it via Zoom style. So let me pull up this graphic. That's our schedule. We're going to be on a Zoom call together, and you don't have to turn your camera on or anything like that. But you can tune in to watch the video. The video will be recorded in case you do miss the workshop and want to grab the kit. then you can watch all the videos on replay. It will be emailed out to you guys, those that attend and participate in the workshop. And again, the materials list in the schedule is all inside. This is not, again, a mystery kit. This is a very project-driven kit. So each of the things that are in this kit, you will use for your designs. And so I've packed all the SilverSilk that you need. I've packed all these beads that will be used in various projects. And here's another bead and findings mix. In fact, we're going to be using every single one of these beads within our projects. And we are bringing the heavy sparkles to this for sure. There's a beautiful pendant. We got some epoxy clay, which Christy Friesen has turned me on to. And I'll show you what project we're going to be making with that. I just showed you guys some black hollow mesh that we'll be using. We get a great glitter cord. You get a full 10-foot spool of medium soft flex extreme. This is going to go a long ways for you guys. And we also get some mica powder in this kit. So it is fully loaded, but I'm going to do you guys one extra. So for the lucky 10 that want to grab the last few kits, I'm going to throw in all of your wire that you'll need into these smart little baggies so that you don't even have to grab the craft wire anymore. I'm just going to throw it in there as part of the last few remaining kits. I hope you do grab one. Here real quick is our projects. This is the epoxy clay one. And is this not just stunning? That mica powder really does transform this into something else. I'm just saying, I'm so excited. I think this is going to be my favorite one to teach and to show you guys how to do it. But I really do love all of these. Here's our glitter stardust pendant necklace. And check this out. I thought I was doing a boo-boo with the flat mesh, trying to make it pearlesque. And then this really awesome texture came out. And I was like, oh my God, this reminds me of a sweater or something that's fuzzy that has a lot of glitter. And I was like, I have to put this in the kit. So I got that in there. Here's our next design. These are all wearable to New Year's events, parties, and stuff that you might have. Our class ends at 6 o'clock Central Time, so plenty of time to celebrate. What else? Oh, and we got some earrings. I love these little guys. They're very party-esque earrings. Got some real glamour going on there. If you haven't used triple strand end caps before, this is your opportunity. Included in the kit, of course. And then just some wire wrapping. I love using the soft flex wire for the wire wrapping, and we're going to be making these really stellar earrings. So I'm excited about all of these designs. They're all going to happen on one day only, New Year's, capping off the year with some sparkles. How about that? And you get some one-on-one time with moi as well. The videos are pre-recorded. If you're having some issues with the financing, I understand. Email me, orders@silversilkonline.com. I'll get you sorted. We'll do a little payment plan or something. And more importantly, you should be creating. So we'll get you in one way or another. I think that was the spiel before I wanted to get into the tutorial, which we're on really good time. I'm going, this is such a quick project too, that I really was trying to figure out ways to like expand out this class, but we might just end up giggling a whole lot as this class happens, because that's what this SilverSilk, that's what TGBE is. That's what everything with jewelry making should be. It's fun and enjoyable, and just spending some time with you guys. So real quick, let me grab all of these supplies and spread them out on my table. Normally I'd have a white background, but I got a little lazy today as I was trying to prep for stuff. I was actually knitting with a brand new machine part that I just got yesterday from the company that helped make my machine. And I've been toying like a child that has a new train set for Christmas. Only just yesterday was I able to tinker with it, put it in, and I got some amazing knitted wire out of it. It's actually going to improve the performance of the machine. And this was the first thing that I did get to test on it was the silver, and it didn't break on me for once, because silver is kind of a nasty wire to knit with, believe it or not. It's the most brittle next to rose gold, and rose gold just won't work for anything. I've tried it with the new stuff. it's just a pain in the ass. So sometimes you just have to realize like it's not really worth it to like kind of have to put that much labor into it. But the silver knitted beautifully. So I'm very hopeful for the rest of the colors, and the beads won't pop it off at the end anymore. So I'm really excited about all this. And that's the heart of my business too. It's, you know, you guys help to make all of this happen just by supporting it. So as Softflex had noted at the end of their video, I'm just super appreciative for you guys as well, and the support that you give to my small business. And I say very, very small business because literally just me. But I think I've been doing okay. You know, I'm keeping up with the orders and just keeping that flow going. All right. So if you picked up a kit, you should have these supplies. And if you don't, I'm going to cover them one at a time. The first thing is you're going to need a little triple strand end clasp. This can be picked up from my store. Unfortunately, it is not glittery like this one is. I actually handmade these and stuck on these little rhinestones. And these were some older pewter ones that I've had since I've had this company, like a couple of years now, and decided to just stick some pretty little rhinestones on it, and it really did transform the crimp into something else. So I really love this. And so you'll need one of those. I've got a couple of 4mm beads. I've got one that's 8mm right here, a little crystal. I got about a 6mm pearl. I got a couple 6mm translucent white beads. And then I've got a couple of big 12mm glass cubes. Those are really pretty. I don't know about you guys, but I just like, I get crystal for what it is, but like, there's just something magical about just glass beads. Like, this used to be a luxury, you know, predating even early 1900s. And just to have something that was manufactured and cut this precise. Now we see it as a commodity, and, you know, especially price-wise, I'm sure. But to me, I'm still fascinated by that. Like, that, I think cut glass is just something that shouldn't be a commodity, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, I'll stop babbling. I included a toggle clasp. You guys should have both parts in your kit. And really, we're just going to be using the leaf portion, but should you want to change up your design later on or during this show, then you can certainly have that option with the toggle clasp that I've included. And then I've got this really cool little drop bead that is also faceted. Kind of reminds me of an elephant ear. I don't really know why, but that's what I get from it. And I just wanted to include that as part of the color scheme. And then I've got this really fun little floral tassel. I've got 3 head pins. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. And last but not least, I've got some craft wire that is the anti-copper color from Softflex Wire. This is 20 gauge. Very good craft wire because it's so soft. If you are doing wire wrap loops, I highly recommend this. I don't think I'm actually doing any wire wrap loops maybe in this design, but I have used their craft wire for a lot of my tutorials, and boy, is the stuff just phenomenal. So I highly recommend using it. What was I gonna do? Lost my train of thought again. I think it's a hat. It's like, it kind of is a little warm in here. Today we actually had a warm day in Oklahoma, believe it or not. It was quite nice outside, and I was actually delivering some stuff to the post office in a tank top, and I'm feeling quite comfortable. So hopefully it's semi-warm wherever you guys are out there. And I need to pull up my pattern because I totally forgot how this goes. Okay, let's start by attaching our crimp. When you get your beautiful SilverSilk, there is a process to doing this. I'm going to be using the entire length of my SilverSilk, by the way. And this is the foundation of my company. It is a knitted wire jewelry chain that has, well, I carry 5 different lines, but this is called the capture chain. What makes it the capture chain is that there is a knitted sleeve over a ball chain interior, which looks like this. The ball chain is silver plated, and then it takes 6 needles to diligently knit around the ball chain as it moves through the machine, and you get this beautiful chain that comes out. It's very soft and very supple, and you can wear it and it drapes just beautifully, as you can see. It's got a great pinch to it, in fact, and then you can just drape it back out. When you cut it, it doesn't fray. There's a little bit of wire particles there at the end, but you could just use your chain nose pliers to pluck them out. And if you're looking for more information on what SilverSilk is, if you check out silversilkonline.com and scroll all the way to the footer, you'll see a menu option for SilverSilk School for Design. And then there is a great bit of resources. You can also check out my blog on there, and there's a ton of tutorials, in fact, of how to use the different SilverSilks I carry. And as well as the findings, because all of my findings are custom made for SilverSilk. They have little teeth inside of each of these channels. This is a triple strand end cap, but I have also single strand end caps that I carry, which are widely popular and packaged as such. So you can grab those if you want to try some out. What I've done is I've just widened my little crimp here, and I'm using a pair of chain nose pliers. I simply just insert it in and then just kind of squeeze the handles or press them out to just gently open up and make this a couple millimeters wider than where I started. And then I can just as easily go ahead and stick in my chain on either end. You don't really need anything in the middle this time around because we're not going to be using it. But this just helps to create a nice little gap, I think, in between. And then you can use either a pair of wide nose pliers, or in this case, I'm using nylon jaw pliers. Normally I wouldn't, but this has the rhinestones on it, so I had to take a bit of a different approach. But then you just squeeze it down. And because this is pewter based, normally my end caps are brass findings and are pretty tough stuff. The pewter in this case is quite soft and will mesh quite easily right over that knitted wire chain. So that's the first step, right? We've got our necklace established. You don't have to put a clasp on this necklace. And if you guys know me really well, for those of you out there, you know that I do not ever like to put clasp on my necklace. Not on purpose. It just happens that whenever I start my tutorial, I always forget. Don't know why that is. You'd think that I'd have clasped out knowing that I've got a tutorial. Sometimes I just forget. Let's see. The second part of our design involves creating our beautiful chain link. So I'm going to pick up my 8mm bead first, and I'm just going to create a series of simple loops to attach my chain. So how many of you out there are simple loop masters? I am not one of them. I would never claim myself to be. I think there are far more talented people out there when it comes to wire wrapping. I did find a technique that does work for me, and that's part of jewelry making. Is it might be different the way that it's taught from instructor to instructor, but really take in all of the knowledge that you can, find a way that works for you. This is how I like to do this. It doesn't mean it's the right way, but it does feel comfortable for me, and the result is something pretty close to good whenever I'm done. But I like to wrap my wire around the bottom mandrel of my chain, or my round nose pliers. And then I start to get this really great little P shape. I've got a small gap there, so I'm just gonna continue to fold that in until that's gone. And that looks really good. Then what I'm gonna do is grab my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to break that neck back like that. Sometimes my gap will increase there, but you simply just can kind of move it back and re-break that neck. You can either do it with your chain nose pliers, or in this case, I did it with my round nose pliers and still ended up with the same result, a perfect little simple loop. And that's really all I need. Okay, and then I'm gonna slide this guy on. And then what I do is I just trim roughly about a 1/2 inch above the bead. And then I just reinsert it back into my chain nose pliers, or my round nose pliers, and continue to make my circle. If I've got a teeny bit of a gap, which in this case I actually don't, I would just trim part of my loop there with my cutters. But I think I ended up pretty good on that, so I'm going to just leave it. And I'm going to position my loops to face the same direction. And I'm ready to attach it just by lifting up. Go ahead and string it onto your finding there and press it back down. And I've got the first part of my design there attached. Now I'm ready to make the same thing for that pearl. I keep looking up at my screen over here because that's got the actual design on it. Because I just, I have to kind of look at it to make sure that I do it right. You can actually reconfigure any of these beads any way that you want. This design is quite modular in that aspect. So do what feels right for you. When you do a project, though, I do want to see what you've made. So please post it in my Facebook Silkies group. There's a little logo for it down there. You can join in, and we are a fantastic little community of SilverSilk makers, enthusiasts, designers, and share our work. Sometimes do occasional group challenges, including the SilverSilk diet plan, which really just Hey guys, hang on just a second. I need to get my cam back in as we're doing this. A little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to make this work. I need to readjust my phone. My silly alarm went back on. I don't know why. I think it's my nap alarm. Do you guys have a nap alarm? I like to take couch naps occasionally when I'm really tired. And I just make myself wake up thereafter. So I think I'm back. Okay, give me 1 second. Back. Okay, where were we in our design? I've got my pearl all made. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that little guy in, attach it perfectly. And now I'm ready for the next part of my design, which I need to look at one more time. It looks like I've got this guy up next. So this is really just, again, it's a very easy design. It's just practicing those same techniques and just to become perfect at it. And again, it is about having the right materials. And I think that's why the craft wire that I like to use is the soft flex wire. It's just so easy on my hands, and I get to readjust accordingly without having to worry about the color flaking off or, any of the part of the metal breaking off. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but some of those big box stores are not selling the best of materials. And it's unfortunate because we all have the same passion and wanting a good deal at the end of the day. But there is something to be said about buying from the professionals and straight from the company. If they carry a head pin or eye pin or wire, it's probably going to be better than the big box stores. So I highly recommend any of these companies that are out here that have head pins or eye pins or wire have procured that themselves. Like they've went out and found the best ones and are selling it to their customers because it's a good product. So support these stores, and in return, you're going to get an excellent product out of it. Sorry, I'm laughing because some of the comments too. So giggling is fun, right? Okay, so we've got our little white bead here next. Just making this chain. I need to read some of the comments, actually, and it's hard to do as I'm beading, but let's see. Ooh, So Lorena, I saw that you won something from Softflex. Speaking of last time, I'm gonna put your comment up. Yes, the color comes off when you cut it. It looks terrible. I've learned that the hard way when I buy wire. Oh yeah. See, that's so sad. So it's definitely important to support the stores, each one of these out here. Again, just because of the quality and knowing what you're getting into. Wake up just in time for cocktails. You said it, sister. Gosh, I love you guys so much. You guys make make this community so much fun. This is why you need to come to the workshop too. I will have cocktails. We haven't discussed drinks, by the way, for our workshop, for our New Year's Eve workshop. Did we? I feel like we need to do something in the Silkies. I'm gonna designate. Well, Joan's already doing quite a bit. I need a drink ambassador, to someone who can really figure out this stuff for the New Year's Eve workshop. So if anyone wants to volunteer for that, let me know. It might be hot cocoa, because I did that at a couple, what was it, actually just last year at my anniversary workshop. And hot cocoa, God, I love hot cocoa. Dark chocolate hot cocoa. Oh my gosh. I would be all over that. Let's see, what's next on the design? Ooh, so my leaf is attached to this guy right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. I'm not really quite sure how this is facing yet. I need to hang it and see. And you do want to make sure that that loop is big enough for your finding to attach to. And I think mine might have been a little too small. So I may have to readjust here. Let's see if I can widen up that loop just a little. That should work. Getting out of hand there, folks. Just need to attach this little guy in. There we go. Perfecto. So I have this little like loop here at the end of the leaf too. And this was used for originally, you know, a clasp. So this would have attached to your necklace or bracelet and there would have crimped to it. In this case, we're going to just attach our head pins to it. So I believe this little guy goes at the end. And I included some copper head pins. I ran out of copper head pins personally, so I'm using the dark rhodium. All of my findings, by the way, are specially plated to match each other. So if you buy the end caps that I have for SilverSilk, just know that any of the other findings that I carry are plated exactly the same. That way you don't have to worry about mismatched findings, any of the color plating variety being off. Everything is very, very much in sync with all of the plating from the SilverSilk findings, and very high grade. They are all brass-based items too. Even the head pins are brass plated as well. They're not brass plated, they're brass core plated with color. I sometimes like forget my salesman hat or whatever, you know. I'm not the best salesman which is horrible for a company, I get it. I'm a designer at heart. I know good material when I feel it, when I touch it, when I experience it. So whenever I'm creating these custom findings, whenever I'm making the knitted wire, it is purely from the sense of a designer, more so than trying to sell something to you guys. I don't feel comfortable selling just any product to you guys, and I never would do that. That's not how I work. So if it's not something that I fully endorse, I'm not into it. Okay, there we go. Again, I might have to do a little bit of adjusting just based on where this is falling. And oh, looks like it's facing the right direction there, so that's perfect. So I got my little bobble there attached, and now I just have to do some really fun little quick wire wrap loops. I can't remember what time I'm supposed to not be on air anymore. I think 5:45 my time. Teresa, we got a lot of time to talk if that's the case. I need to go back and look at the calendar. Or maybe, Teresa, if you're still out there, can remind me if I'm on time here. I rely heavily on the silkies. Okay. Whoops, sorry about that, you guys. My alarm yet again went on. I'm going to cancel this alarm for good. Hop back in the video. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're going to do this, though. Let's do this. Back. Studio. Technical difficulties. Gotta have them. Luckily, it's easy for me to pop back in, though. I will say that. Let's see, which one of these is it? All right. Here we go. Let me mute that. All right. Let me know if we're back in good shape here. Every time you're Dav is saying every time your alarm goes off, we need to take a drink. For sure. Sometimes that happens. I usually would have a glass of wine or something tonight, but I didn't pick up anything before I started. So, alrighty. To do a wire wrapped head pin, I'm going to grasp the top of my wire there with my chain nose pliers. And the further you go in, the more coils you'll have to make to get that filled up. So I'd like to stay sort of in that top quadrant there of my plier, the top 1/4. And then I just do a nice little sharp 90-degree angle bend. I didn't go quite all the way with that, so let me do that. Just like that. Once I have done that, I am going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to work my wire around just like that. You want to get it to a point where you can stop. It kind of looks like a little earring hook right now, but you want to switch sides of your round nose pliers and then just finish out that loop as such. Once you've done that, you can either use your nylon jaw pliers, because I do not like to think of my findings getting scratched along the process here. Or you could use your chain nose pliers if you've got an extra pair around. But I just take a pair of chain nose pliers for this other end and just coil that wire around as such. And I've got my wire wrapped loop. I don't know. I can find the word. My wire wrap loop there. Okay, and then you just want to take your chain nose pliers and you want to kind of tuck in the end of your wire there. Sometimes it's a little stubborn, but that's okay. Just do the best you can. Make sure that you did cut your end there at an angle, and it will be easier to actually tuck in. And sometimes you can even just grasp your little head of your wrapped loop there, and then just helped it to assist you in your tucking there. Okay, let's do that again. All right, stick that in. You'll do these for both your your glass beads and your gray beads. And that's actually going to be the last part of the necklace, actually, which is great. Do love a nice, quick design. So if you have some spare, if you weren't able to grab the kit and you are wanting to make this very design, then you should be able to do this with your own parts and pieces, hopefully from your own stash, or if you went on a shopping spree, because I know a lot of us have great deals right now in the TGBE group. And if you've taken advantage of their deals, then maybe you can find some similar beads in their store. I want to share the wealth, you guys. Like, I want to make sure that every one of our members are well taken care of and are supported. So many of my Silkies folks that are purchasing SilverSilk already want to expand out their bead hoarding, then please check out some of the other members and the presentations in the TGBE group. See, I have so much glitter on me from just that. I think it's a sign saying you need to start this workshop as soon as you can, or just get into the mood of glitter and sparkles. It's probably really what it is. Okay, so these attach to, one is down here, and then my tassel and my little bauble is going to be up there, and which means that I'm going to have to resituate this a little bit. So I'm going to unattach my pearl. I'm going to slide in my bauble, reattach the pearl, and then on the other side, I'm going to attach my little floral tassel. Teresa says 5:45 my time. Ooh, I get to hold you guys captive for a little longer. What are we going to talk about? What's everyone having for dinner tonight? It's a good topic. I like anything that involves food, by the way. Okay. Oh, and speaking of, like, Christy Friesen's pie, when is her presentation happening? I need to tune in for that for sure. I didn't get to see everyone's projects and kits. So when she did reveal that she was going to make that, I was just so excited. So we have a Facebook friend here saying ravioli. Must have caught the Softflex wire presentation, I bet, huh? Ravioli does sound good though. All right. So I've attached that as well now. So you get these little baubles that work. If you want to add more baubles, there you can definitely find some beads maybe in your own hoard and add to this design. But otherwise, this is just a nice simplistic design for the upcoming winter season. Oh, whoops, we gotta have that shiny side, right? And First Frost is, to me, just the perfect name for this because it just involves a little bit of glamour, glitz, ice, but with the warmth of the fall colors with the copper and mixed metals. So for me, this is just a great combination of materials and really thinking about the season and being that fashion forward. And again, just a no-clasp aspect to it makes this so much fun. All right, so I'm going to read some comments as I saw some orders come in, so I'm curious to know if any of you guys are going to attend the workshop. You'll get lots of instructions from yours truly. Ooh, we have a Facebook friend. Oh, it's Lois. I'm going to show your comment, Lois. Where'd you go? Oh, here you are. We are making garlic naan. Yum. First, you had me at garlic, first of all, and then naan is just one of my favorite breads to eat. So this is a great combination. That's just amazing that you are making it, though. That's fantastic. Pat is asking, do you have silver flat? Oh, the flat mesh. Not yet, but that is part of my technological advance and machine parts, is that I'm going to continue to do some experimenting to see if I can get the silver wire to knit flat. Speaking of the different types of knitted wire, for those of us out there that are new to SilverSilk, flat mesh is one of the wires that I create. Flat mesh does come in various different colors. Let me see if I can grab some off this product wall real quick, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So the only color I've not been able to make yet is silver, because the wire that I use is so brittle. And whenever it knits, it doesn't knit very flexible, sadly. The rest of this stuff is so supple and very flexible. I don't know what it is about the different colors that make it happen, but I love using the different colors because they do knit correctly. And again, using the holographic tinsel woven in, and this is only exclusive to the New Year's Eve kit, but this was such a revelation for me, because imagine going from a flat color, which still looks stunning, all the way to something dimensional and very glittery. So that, again, that's just my passion for SilverSilk, is this idea that I get to try different things that knit wire into these different substrates and textures and stuff. Even the pearlesque chain, as I was showing you, is quite transformational. The beads that are inside of this hollow mesh are sort of a lavender color, and it's glittery, as you can see, though, because this is a pearlesque chain, which means that it's got a holographic tinsel woven in with the knitting. Mind-blowing. Seriously mind-blowing. But yeah, that's sort of in the works, to answer your question out there. So if you guys have questions, like, go ahead and pour them right in, and I'm gonna scroll through some of these, some of the questions. So let's see. We have a friend here. Kim is asking, what in the world is that beautiful green faceted bead? I missed that. I don't know if I had a green faceted bead. Now that I think about it, you may have to be a little more specific, Kim, but I will answer your question, maybe if it pops into my head of what you're talking about. Let's see. As I'm scrolling, I am looking at some of these questions and stuff, so that's why I'm gawking at the monitor here. Marianne is asking, generous discount Nila gave, order we must. Marianne Doi is my friend from Arizona, and her sister and her are Hawaiian. And her sister lives in Hawaii, but she is a huge supporter and just a really great friend of, like, my friend. And I love giving her a shout out. So hi, Marianne. Always lovely to see your name pop in. So the discount she was referring to was a TGBE 25% off capture chain whenever you place in your order for some chain. Back to comments. Holly says, love the purple SilverSilk. Some people here may be afraid of purple and some are not. I feel like it's all situational, right? Let me show you a design that I planned for a Tuesday tutorial that involves purple, because you can use it in a minimalistic way and still get a nice hit of color. So this is for Holly. You may want to tune in a future Tuesday tutorial, because we're going to be using flat mesh to create a bale for even more leaves and baubles and stuff. I don't have a clasp on this one, so if Emily from Motor Crafts is watching, she can add to the tally of no clasps. And this is actually fluorite beads. So I have this one scheduled out, I think not the next one, but the one after, for my Tuesdays. I will only be teaching through this month, and December, I'm not going to be doing Tuesday tutorials. I'm taking the whole month off of doing many promo stuff, except for my workshop, because my brain needs a rest and I need to get back on my creative high and think of more projects to do with you guys. So we'll be doing a Tuesday tutorial all for the rest of this month, and then December, you won't see much of me unless you're in a workshop. Or in the Silkies group, because I like to creep on there too. Vicky says, yep, no clasp as usual. Vicky, you know me all too well. So I answered Pamela's question. It's almost every week. It is typically, yes, every week, though, except for December. Oh, Lorena says, yes, went through that after all my craft shows I burned out. I am so glad that those craft shows have been successful for you. I've wondered that in 2021, just how business has been picking up for those of us that do make our designs to sell. So I've heard sort of mixed reviews, but in this instance, in this case, for Lorena, it's been positive. So I'm very elated to hear that. Pamela is asking, what is your group? Well, my group is called the SilverSilk Silkies. They're at the bottom. It says Get Inspired here. And you can type that into the Facebook search. You'll find us one way or another. And we want you to come join us. Lots of SilverSilk ideas on there too. Oh, Joan just posted the link for it. So thank you, Joan. And then Loretta's asking, what time are your tutorials, on Tuesdays? I am, for the foreseeable future, going to continue them at 12 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock noon, which is my lunch hour. Sometimes they're pre-recorded and sometimes they're just live, but these are for predominantly YouTube, and so I don't really talk with the audience out there. It is just straight on design and tutorial. You get to know the instructions from beginning to end, no interruptions, except for whenever I just forget stuff every now and then, such as a clasp. And then I like to do a follow-up to those Tuesdays with a roundup in the afternoon, evening time, 5:30 Central, where I do pop on Facebook Live and just chit-chat with you guys there. Lorena is asking, will the NYE be on Zoom? Yes, Lorena, that is correct. If you are not able to make our Zoom meeting, then we will be recording the video, and that video link will be sent out to those that won't be able to attend but still picked up the kit. I will say also that the link will be sent out a week ahead of time before the workshop starts via email. Whale? Guys? Normally I would take up all of this time, but I feel like all of my stuff just doesn't take that long. And I guess I don't have any other major sales or anything going on this week other than the 25% off this weekend. So why don't we just take this extra time to maybe have a nature break, and we can then roll into Miss Kelly Sutton of Kelly's Bead Boutique. Speaking of Miss Kelly, let me bring that bracelet back out. Thank you, Kelly, again. If you're watching this, I am just so delighted to teach this, and this is going to be so, so fun for me to be able to use SilverSilk in this tutorial that I'll be teaching in the future here next week. And I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to do that. You guys need to check out Kelly's YouTube channel. She has got some really, really stellar tutorials that involve leather, can easily be substituted out with SilverSilk. Her designs are just very complimentive of what my product is. So, and I just can't say enough great things about Kelly. I think she's such an awesome person, easy to get a hold of, very accessible, and at the same time, just a warm human being that is. Amanda says she's an amazing instructor. That is absolutely true, especially based on her YouTube channel. So she's on next after me, and you guys are very, very lucky. So get out of here, go eat something, go take a nature break, and then hop back in. Let's show Kelly our support and keep this great event going, ending the day with her on a highlight. So I love all of you. As always, I'll pan back over to my big face here. And thank you so much for spending some time with me, for making this project with me. For those of you that grabbed the kit, for those of you that ordered today, for those of you that are going to attend this workshop, like, as a one-person company, I've really struggled and tried so hard to make this work, and it's been working through all trial and error. And the members that are in this group have been nothing but loving and supportive of SilverSilk and have really uplifted me, and as I am trying to uplift them as well. So, and you guys lift me up as well. So thank you, truly from the bottom of my heart, for just always hanging in there with me through everything these past few years that I've had SilverSilk. And I think we're just going to continue to do some big things together in the near future as we do these events and classes and workshops. So I'm getting a little emotional, so I'm going to hop off camera so you guys don't see me ugly cry. I will see you next Tuesday outside of TGBE, of course, for our tutorial. And then also I will be on Roundup again for that. I know I missed you guys. Some of you guys last week wasn't able to come on, but I'm going to hop on live on Tuesday just to chit chat with you guys. Nothing else. Just to catch up. All right. Love you guys. Big hugs. Thank you so much. Mwah. All right. I will leave you. Nature break. And then Kelly Sutton. We're on. Mwah.